live, and we're live now. Okay. So, greetings. This is Edward Jumbo. In this tutorial, which is a live stream on YouTube, we'll be creating our own custom plugin for WordPress. So, in this series for WordPress, the first thing we did was installed WordPress two ways, using the command line and also using the graphic way from a browser and file manager. Then we created a database, created a database user, installed WordPress, and then just quick walk through WordPress. In the second tutorial, what we did was we went through WordPress plugins. Then last tutorial, we created posts and different ways to create posts, including excerpts. We talked about read more, how to upload images, rich media, how to embed videos. We did all that in the last tutorial. So for this particular tutorial, we're going to create our own custom plugin, because there are some things which we want to control ourselves, or maybe we can't find a free or open source, or even a paid plugin might not exist for our particular needs. Sometimes we just want to do something simple, but we want to install a plugin which comes with everything, the terminologies, including the kitchen sink. So that's why in this tutorial we'll create our own custom WordPress plugin. So just to go through this again, so WordPress is open source. It's a content management system for creating, modifying, and publishing website content. You can extend it again or tweak to your specific needs. So you can install free or paid plugins. And if you need a custom feature or tweaking, including even an existing plugin, you can contact ojamboservices.com for professional help. So we are going to, so the free open source WordPress plugins are usually found in the WordPress repository. There are others out there. You can get some directly from GitHub, the free ones. And obviously the paid ones, they have their own ways to install. Usually you download a zip file and then you install. I think I showed you this last time, how to install plugins. So before we get there, I just want to show you the folder. So I'm going to pull up the file manager here. So the one we're using is blog. Blog 1, you see it says WP content and plugins. So what you need to do is simply just go inside it and create a new folder. You don't need to create a new folder. For example, you see this hello PHP. That's for a plugin called Hello Dolly. But it's best to create a new folder. That way you can have all your content inside the plugin. So for this for this particular plugin, I need to come up with a name on the fly. I need to come up with a name so that this name will be consistent. So for example, you could create multiple plugins, but I'll try to create one plugin where we can put all our everything we do for in this tutorial and future tutorials in the same place. So I could call it my plugin. Actually, that's a pretty good name. So I think I'll do that. I'll call it my, oh, you know what? I think I have a better one. I'll just call it Ojambo plugin. Okay. Then we go inside Ojambo plugin. And inside there, you can create other folders, but we just need a PHP file. So what I'm going to do is I am just going to create a text file, and I'll just call it Ojambo plugin.php. Okay, so just to let you know, inside the plug because we're using a folder blog 1, you go into WP-content folder, you go into the plugins folder, and then you create your create a folder there. In this case, I called it Ojambo-plugin, and then I create a file called Ojambo-plugin.php. So this is the file we're going to to edit. I'll use NetBeans for this tutorial, but you can use any text editor or IDE that you prefer. Okay, so just let you know, if you go to jumbo.com, you can click on WordPress custom-plugin, and then you can simply you can either watch on YouTube, or you can simply click here to watch without having to sign into YouTube. If you're on YouTube, you log into YouTube, you'll be able to ask me any questions, and you can participate, and I can answer your questions live. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is open up a new tab, and I'll type in, I think it's Jumbo show.local. This is local, so it's blog, forgot about that, blog 1, because it's in a folder called blog 1. Okay, so this is our blog. If you notice, last time I said we created I think 2 or 3 posts. I think we created 2 posts, and we put them in specific categories, and we also created tags. So we're still using one of the themes that we didn't install. I'm not sure if this is 2025. We'll find out when we're inside. So, and you see there's a read more, and just to cut off the content at a specific height, so you can forward. So again, if you want to log into the admin area, it's just type in wp-admin. I'll type in my super secure password. Okay, so this is the dashboard. So for example, if we want to remove some of these things like the activity at glance and the site health, we can remove this simply going to screen options, and you see site health status, at glance, and activity. So we can, for example, you see here, the activity disappears. So these are the type of things that you can, for example, obviously you can do it manually, or you can, for example, have a plugin that can remove them. Okay, so I want to go to appearance. I don't see what theme we're being used. So right now we're using this is the theme we're using, the Cadence theme. It's a free theme, as you saw. I got it from the WordPress.org website, because this went at the time of recording of this tutorial. We're in 2025, so it comes with a 2025 theme by default. But you can change it to a theme you want, or you can create your own theme. Right now, we're not going to do that. We're going to instead go to, if we go to plugins, you see contact form 7, there's a new version. So there's an update. So it's the one currently installed is 6.0.3, but there's the latest version at time of recording is 6.0.4. So it's always a good idea to update, or you can click enable auto updates. Now, if you enable auto updates, if you don't have Linux and cron job installed, WordPress has its own cron, which mimics the cron job. The issue with that one is that it depends on people visiting the site in order to trigger this type of jobs. So it's good in a way in that obviously when if one of these plugins is really out of date, it will update if you enable auto updates, and when somebody visits the site. But if your site is not very busy, people may not visit the site until maybe you, the person who visits the site. So manually updating is fine. Okay, so that's updated and everything is fine here. So you see this plugin here, Hello Dolly. This is a very basic plugin, and you can see it tells you what version, it tells you the author, and when you click view details, you see there's a few there's content here for the view details. This comes actually from the WordPress repository, so we are not going to worry about this right now, because this is information that you put on the actual repository or your preview page. So we might talk about that way in the future, but for now, I'm more interested in basically this plugin doesn't do anything. All plugins have an activate and deactivate and a delete. Delete is very simple, meaning it deletes it from the folder, the plugins folder. Activate obviously means it's active, and deactivate just means deactivated means that it's in the folder but it's not being used. However, some people have asked me before if that's good for security, and I always tell them if you're not actually using a plugin, it's always best to delete it. Or if you want to keep a copy for your own use, just copy it, archive it, zip it up or whatever, and make sure it's not in the web root, meaning that take it out of web root, keep it on your own locally somewhere in storage. Okay, so you can see here we have the you add new plugin. You can also click here add new plugin. So I want to go to plugin file editor, and the plugin I want to look at is the Hello Dolly, just to show you the structure of plugin. When you select the plugin to edit, you have to click select. So as you can see here, this part here where it says package Hello Dolly version, this part is not relevant to WordPress. This is obviously for your own, maybe you have your own way of writing code, so your own comments, that's fine. The part that's relevant for WordPress is this part right here. You see, this is the starting of a multi-line content, and down here, so where it says plugin name, this how the name is Hello Dolly. That's the one you see up here, Hello Dolly, and also in the plugins list. And the plugin URL, you see it says wordpress.org. That's the repository for the free open source plugins, and it says such plugin Hello Dolly. And then you have a description. So this is the description that shows up when you go to the plugin list. And then you see the author. Remember, this is Matt Bullenberg, and version 1.7.2, and the author URL. So this is Matt's URL. So if you have your own custom plugin, obviously the plugin URL and the author URL could be the same. The plugin URL is basically where the person can go and get a new version, or it will check for the new version. In this case, I said this is wordpress.org. So this one we can actually, it's not mandatory for our own custom plugin, but it's a good idea to put something there just in the future in order to check. And this particular plugin, this is just a regular PHP function, so I'm not going to worry too much about that. And this is Hello Dolly. What this plugin does, it calls this function, the previous one, and then depending on the language, it will then print out, it says see, screen reader, blah blah blah, quote from Hello Dolly song by Jerry Herman. So I guess it picks one of these quotes in here, and the language, and it shows in here. And so WordPress has two types of hooks. Some are actions, some are filters. So action is usually to do something, like for example, places it in the admin notification area, admin notices. And a filter would do something. For example, if you want to remove bad words or words you think are naughty, you would use a filter. That's just a quick overview of that. And this is a CSS for this plugin. And you can see here, it's simply, that's an action. Sorry, I meant action, not filters. I apologize for that. I meant action. So this is an action, and see, it puts it in admin head and the CSS. That means in the head section of the admin area, not in the front area, because this plugin is only it goes in the admin notices, not in the front end of the site. So as you can see, this is basically one of the simplest plugins you can make. The one good thing about this plugin, it also introduces the area where you want your plugin to function. In this particular case, when you see admin means it's only going to be in the administrative area, meaning you have to log into the back end in order for this to work. Okay, so we're going to create our own plugin. So right now, remember we created, go back here and show you this. So we created this, if you remember, Ojambo-plugin. So this is just an empty file. So I'm going to add some content here, very similar to this. So obviously the first thing we need to do, we need to give it a plugin name, a URL, description, author, version, and author URL. Okay, so I said you can follow along in any text editor. I'm going to use NetBeans. So just drag and drop this into NetBeans. There you go. See, it's just a blank, or just text, but we don't need any of this. So I'll just delete that. So now, what does our plugin need? So the most basic part that our plugin needs, it's called the header requirements. So literally, you need this is literally all you need for your plugin. So you say plugin name, and you put your plugin name here. So in this case, I'm going to call it Ojambo plugin. That is the minimum you need for your plugin. So right now, oops, I forgot to put, obviously this is PHP. So you can put closing, this is the opening PHP tag, and you can put a closing one, but since I believe version 5 point something, I think 3 or so, you don't need to actually put a closing PHP tag if everything is going to be PHP. Obviously, for example, if I was mixing this with, say, HTML, I'll need to close it off to put the HTML, or I can just echo out the HTML. Okay, so that's literally all you need. Again, just the plugin name. That's the minimum requirements that you need for the plugin. So now, if we go back to WordPress here, and we go to, just click on plugins, look at that. You see, it says Ojambo plugin. I can activate this plugin, and I don't want to delete it, because if I did it, it would delete the folder and the file. I don't want to do that. But as you can see, this is ready to be activated. So I'm not going to activate it yet, because I want to keep on adding some more. So as you can see here, it will be good to let people know what type of version, the author, and then where they can view the details. Usually the plugin URL and the things like this, some type of description. So that's what we're going to. So next thing we're going to do is the plugin URL, the home page. So we'll go here. Now, plugin URI, HTTPS. I'll say this, because this is just a local ojamboshow.local/plugins/Ojambo. This doesn't exist. I'm just making something up here. Ojambo plugin. Okay, I'm going to give it a description. Okay. This is a custom plugin created doing a live stream to teach others how to create their own plugins. Okay, so that's the description. You can put a version. So this is the first one. I'll put 1.0.0. And then there's things like requires PHP, the minimum PHP that's required, the lowest version of, so if I, for example, if I put requires at least I can say 0.6.0. That means it requires at least WordPress 6. And I can say requires PHP. So I'll put 8.4 just to show you that this plugin will not be able to activate it, because right now I believe, oh, I might actually have PHP 8.4. So that might be redundant. So I'll put author. So the author, that will be me. So Edward Ojambo, the author URI, put my blog, so https ojambo.com. You can choose a license. So GPL version 2. Then the license URI. These are all optional. And then there might be, like for example, there might be a update URL, and if it requires, for example, I can put update URI. This is to check if there are updates. I'm not going to do that. And you can also do requires plugins. So meaning that this, for example, remember we installed Contact Form 7 before. So if I put Contact Form 7 here, meaning that Contact Form 7 has to be installed before this plugin will be able to be activated. So you can comma separate them. So for example, Contact Form 7 and whatever other, like Flamingo, and so forth and so forth. So we don't need that as well. So I'm going to get rid of that. So now I'm going to check. If we go back here, yeah, you see this? So the plugin, it says the plugin does not work with your version of PHP, because I have PHP 8.3 and I needed 8.4. So in order to find out what version of PHP you have, you can go to Tools, Site Health, and then you can go to Info, and under Info, I believe it's under Server. Yeah, see the PHP version is 8.3.17. So my plugin needs 8.4. It really doesn't, but I just wanted to show you how you can put, when you put the require PHP, to tell you what PHP version that is needed. So if we go back to the plugins, so you can see you see it cannot activate it. You won't be able to activate this because you need PHP 8.4. So what I can do is if I go back here and I change this now to say 8.3, that's the minimum requirement, 8.3. If we go back here now, if I refresh, see now I can activate it. And you can see here it has the version, it has my name, and you see the name down here on the bottom left. It will go to my website, the URL, and the this visit plugin site. This one will not work because I just made this URL up. And you can see instead of saying view details, you can create a view details as well. But you can put that as well. But that is this is how you do it. Now clearly, if I had a special page, I would just put that page here instead, and you can have a separate view details. I can show you that in a future tutorial if anybody requests it. Okay, so I can activate this plugin now, but I'm not going to activate it because it's not going to do anything. It's literally just this is basically what we have done, and obviously everything checks out. Let me actually go back to the dashboard. I want to see what version of WordPress I'm using. Let's go to updates. So okay, so the version of WordPress I'm using is 6.7.12. So I can probably bump my I know to work with 6.0, but you can bump this up to maybe the latest version if you want. So okay, let's go back to plugins and let's go back here. Now let's see what we can do here. Let's do some fun things. We're gonna keep it simple because it's already been about how many minutes has this gone? It's been about 26 minutes. I don't wanna bore you guys to death with talking. So let's actually do something here. So what can we do? Let me think. Keep it simple here. So let's do let's change the title. That's a simple one. So for example, you see here when we go to the front of the site, let me open this up in visit the site. You see the titles. For example, this one says trucks, astronaut, and this says cycles. It's for the and this one says hello world. And as you can see, this is the category. This is uncategorized, this is output, this is guide and vehicles. This has two categories. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the titles of all of these. I'm not sure. Oh, that the title for the up here. You see it says blog 1. I think this is the title, not the post title. Okay, so let's go change that. I put a comment and I say modify the title. So we're gonna call function Jumbo filter title. So we'll pass in the current title, and then we'll use okay, I'll just I'll make it simple so I don't confuse people. Okay, I'll say the title changed. Okay, and then I'll make this a filter. This is one of the hooks. So there's on one of the WordPress hooks is called the title. So then and then the name of my function here. So I'll explain this. So this is the hook you can use in WordPress. In this particular case, I'm using the filter instead of an action. So filter that title, and then it's going to run it in my function here, which I just created. And then it's going to take the current title and then it's going to prefix and postfix to it, and that's return it. So all the titles and all the pages will be changed to this. So this could literally be this is a valid function, a valid plugin, and obviously a function as well, and the hook. So if we go here, make sure it's activated. So I'm going to activate it. So I did activate it. Now if we go here and pay attention, you see up here in the address title or the tab. Okay, so if I change this, well, that didn't change. I think it changed. Maybe let me see, view page source title. Oh, the title. See, this is the title here. That did not change for some reason. I'm not sure why. That's odd. Not sure why that didn't change. Maybe it's a specific one. Let me see here. No, this is still the same. It says trucks. Maybe it's the sometimes it could also be the theme you're using. It might not work on the theme. So I'll come back to that later. I don't know why that didn't work. Oh, it's not activated. That's weird. Why is this not? Oh, that's odd. It's not activated. Okay, looks like I might need to activate. It looks like it needs a something to activate it. Or did I not save maybe? That's weird that the function was not. This one is not activated. That is really strange. Let me comment this out. Maybe something's wrong and I cannot see it. Let's go back here, refresh. Okay, now it's activated. That is really strange. Just a minute. Okay, so it could be because I don't have, I might as well talk about this as well. So sometimes you might see this in plugins. So what this stands for is it takes the priority, and this is the parameters. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add another one. I'll add, I guess, the ID and uncomment this, and hopefully this works. So refresh. Okay, so there's something wrong. I might have made a mistake with my code or something here. It looks like it doesn't like something I'm doing here, which I do not understand. Oh, okay, I realized my mistake. Because I'm used to writing classes, this has to be quoted. That was the issue. If we go back here now, it should be fine. Yes, there we go. And it's already active. So now if I go here, you see, it says the trucks changed, the astronaut changed, the cycles changed, and the sample page changed, the privacy policy changed. So basically anything that has a title has changed. So if we go here now, on this one, this should also have changed. Yeah. So because the menu items also have a title, so that's the simplest plugin there. Now, obviously, if you want to target specific things, like for example, if you don't want to target, you can check to see if it's a menu item or if it's just a post title. You can check to see if it's a post, and then you can, or a page, and you can change it that way if you want to be very specific. So for example, what I mean is, if we go to a page, I think the sample page, for example, you see the sample page change. So if I only want to target this one, a page instead of a post, you can target it by using a simple if statement. So let's go back to the home page. So that's our plugin there. Now if you comment this out, obviously it will not work. So that's one way to create a simplest plugin. And this is the ID. The ID stands for the post ID. So let's do another one. Let's see. Let me see if this plugin has. Sometimes plugins might already have it. So for example, if we do inspect this particular page, and we go to the body, it has a body class. So if you want to append, for example, you see this particular plugin theme, sorry, it already comes with a body class where you have it shows you the current page you're on and the name of the page. So for example, if I go to another page, for example, I go back to this one. Nope. Which one am I on? Okay, this one. If I click this one, if I do an inspect, you can see this is not a home page. It's actually just a post. You see it says single, meaning it's a single post. It's a single post. The single is the name of the template. So if I want to add something to the body class, I can also do that in a plugin. So what I can do is I'll say, okay, I'll say modify body class. So I'll say function. And the reason I'm using Ojambo because Ojambo is a unique name. So this way I won't have a problem with checking out if there's if a function with the same name exists. Now there's two ways to prevent that. I'll show you that when I do the next one after this one. So Ojambo modify. No, just say Ojambo okay, I'll just say Ojambo body class. So that takes in classes. Now I'm going to use an if statement. So I'll say if it isn't admin. So I just want the front. So I don't want this to modify anything in the front in the back end. So I'll say if it's not that, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a class because it's an array. So I'll add another class and I'll say you know what? I'll say Ojambo. There we go. I'll say Ojambo plugin. There we go. Ojambo plugin. Then of course you need to return classes. Oh, I forgot. I should actually zoomed this in so you guys can see a little bit better there. Okay, this is also a filter. So I just add filter. So body class. And then I won't make the same mistake as last time. So as I was saying is, one way to do this is to actually create a class so you can then encapsulate your functions in there. That way you don't have to worry about if they're using the same name has been used before. I'll show you another way shortly. Okay, so this is fine. Now if I go back here, I simply do this. Now if I do an inspect or view page source, let's go to view page source. Go to view page source. You see in the body here, it has blah, 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 blah. Now we go to the end. So this is on line. There we go. I've highlighted it so you can see. Nope, I don't see it there. Did I actually activate it? Body class. Jumbo body class. Yeah, this should be working. Oh, if it is an admin. Oh, is it because I'm logged in as an admin? Okay, maybe I have to use a different browser. Let me try a different browser. Jumbo show.local. /blog1. Oh, it is there. It is there. It is actually here. I don't know why I missed it. Yeah, Ojambo plugins right here. I thought it would be at the end, but it's right here. See, Ojambo plugin. There we go. So then, if you were trying to target this with your own classes, this is how you do it. Okay. Now, we're going to create. Let's change the read more. So now we're gonna modify read more. So as I was saying is that Ojambo is unique, so that's why I use Ojambo. But if you, I don't know, if you're a lazy programmer and you want to use the same function name and you're not sure if it exists, so there's actually PHP has something called if function. Oops. If function. Oops. If not function exists. Sorry. If not function. I think this should be. PHP if function exists. Yeah, so it's function. I don't know why it's not. I don't know why it's not working. Function. Okay, so function will be Ojambo read more. So if the function read more doesn't exist, okay, if the function doesn't exist, then what do I want to do? I want to create my own function. So the function is going to be this. Okay. What do I do here is return I'll use double quotes as well. No, I'll use single quotes. Maybe I should even use paradox. Okay, that doesn't matter. Class equals Ojambo more href equals get permalink read more link. Oops. Okay, this is what you would do, but as you can see, this can get tedious. If you can see, I already have 3 functions, so putting this all for all 3 would be a nuisance. And it's still also, the problem is, what if somebody, or let's say Ojambo is popular and somebody uses the same thing for something else? You see, then there will be a conflict. This is why classes are actually better. But for this tutorial, said if you use a unique name, you're perfectly fine. So this is fine. We go back here. I want to show you that you don't need to, you can deactivate and activate if you do things which require like a cache or a database. You'd always, it's good to deactivate and activate if you're editing your plugin. In this case, I'm going here. Now I want to show you that, you see it says read more, and read more. So if I refresh, this should change. Did not change. Let me deactivate this. Sometimes there's a mistake and it will show me if there's an error. Oh, there was no error. Did I actually... function, if function doesn't exist, read more. Not sure why this did not work. Add filter, the content more link. Oh, this should be... it probably does actually exist, but nope. Let me actually inspect this and see what's going on. Post more. Sometimes it could be the plugin. You might have to change the plugin for it to work. This plugin might not allow it. I mean, this theme, sorry. But that's how you do it. So let me... I actually do like this and I want to change it. So okay, it's been 45 minutes. I should probably stop there and continue next time. Let me see if I can take it out. Take it out of here. See if that actually does anything. Nope, doesn't do anything. Okay. So undo, put it there. Okay, so one more. I'll do another one here. I'm gonna create one called I don't know what to call this one. I'll say okay, I'll remove. I think it's a good stop here, and we can continue from next time, including figuring out why this did not work. Let me see. Okay, so I think the reason this is not working is because there is probably a higher priority for that current theme that's overriding this one. So we'll look into that next time. So this is the end of the coding part of the tutorial. Be sure to subscribe for more frequent content. And just quick reminder that if you need any help with WordPress, whether it's a theme, plugin, migration, visit ojamboservices.com. Ojamboservices.com also provides help with domains, Linux servers, migration consultation. If you enjoy this tutorial, please consider supporting me by purchasing one of my ojamboshop.com online programming courses or publications on Amazon. I have programming books, or you can simply donate. You go to ojambo.com/donate. So here under this particular article on ojambo.com/WordPress-custom-plugin, you can see the Learning JavaScript course, Learning JavaScript paperback on Amazon, Learning JavaScript ebook on Amazon, and ojamboservices.com. The URLs are there. The URLs are also in the description. And I also obviously have other courses such as Python and PHP. PHP is relevant for this tutorial. This particular PHP is using 8.2. 8.2 is relevant for 8.3 and 8.4 as well. I most likely will not update this course material until probably later this year or early next year, because it's still very relevant. Most people are still using actually below 8.2. Okay, so just a reminder that again, next Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern, we'll continue with this series.